Heh, so, if you remember correctly, we're in the ship realm. So we're gonna be doing some, this is like the lamest version of Prince of Persia humanly possible. You know how like Prince of Persia, you'd be in a big room, and you're like, how do I get from point A to point B, and it involved a bunch of like intricate stuff?
This one's just like contextual, push A and then hold up on ladder.
Yeah. Well, we get some shooting.
Man, I haven't played the original Prince of Persia.
I know, that's one of those that I'm like, yeah, maybe I should do it. Oh, because he went the way down there. Roy!
I think there's another one where I like the first one the best. And the second one's the worst, and the second best.
Oh yeah, that's a trilogy that we did not mention yesterday.
Last week.
Last week! Yes! Can you actually turn it down just a little bit? Especially with all the boom going on. Oh, come on. No, did you just say no to me? Okay, well I'm gonna see him my way. If he starts to shoot me, he starts to shoot me.
That reminds me of like Uncharted climbing, which is like there's no fail state kind of. Or I guess a better example would be the new God of War game. Did you play that one?
I played it a little, but it didn't really get it didn't get me.
Definitely the new God of War's biggest flaw is that they have that climbing, but there is literally no fail state, and they like contextualize all the climbing with like obnoxious paint on the wall that's completely obvious, and I don't even know why they bothered. Like it is literally just basically watch a cinematic as you climb this wall.
Yeah, and
it gets especially bad because there's a lot of times when you'll have to backtrack through areas, and you can't just like jump down a cliff. You have to like climb down the cliff. It is so tedious.
This is basically the same thing. It's walk forward. I mean, kind of figure out your surroundings, press X, and GG. Although once we get to the bottom-ish, things change a little.
Yeah, the new God of War isn't like I actually fairly liked it. There's some stuff that I didn't too much like about it, especially the climbing and some of the story stuff, but I think it's a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I was enjoying it. It was just like going on too long for me. And I was like, now it's one of those games. Because I'm used to Sony banging out those...
like 3-hour movie games.
Yeah.
I think I beat God of War in like 10 hours.
That's what I wanted, yeah.
Clamber.
That's the thing that took me so long last time to figure out, right? And then I run across here. Yeah.
That looks safe.
Yeah, we good. Jump! This is just them being like, we can do it too. Uh-oh. Hello! Hello, Slimer.
Remember Ghostbusters?
Whoa! Remember the remake?
Actually,
if you ever look at, why did that not hit him at all? Okay, that was weird. Whoa! Did you see that?
yeah, I saw it for a second again.
Nice. I like seeing his, quite literal skull.
The back of his unmodeled eyeballs.
Yep. I was one of the people who, will they just leave? You know, I guess if I leave that thing on there, he won't attack me, which is kind of cool. Maybe that's a speedrun strat. Yeah! 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 Boom! Boom! I like conveniently placed dynamite as well.
I actually really do like the original Ghostbusters, and I was thinking about borrowing like the new Ghostbusters just to watch it and be like, oh, this is bad. But I was like watching a review on it, and they put a lot of clips of like what the humor is, and it's like I don't want.
So here's the main. I was one of the.
It wouldn't even be bad funny; it'd just be bad.
However much money that it made, I was $10 of it because I did see it in theaters because I had to. I had to. So here's the main thing with Ghostbusters and why it's like just honestly amazing.
Like the original Ghostbusters?
No, the new one.
Because the original Ghostbusters is amazing.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. No, so I just did this yesterday, so I'm just gonna keep talking while I. Yeah, that's this. Because you do two kind of long astral parts, and I kind of like got a little confused. So the thing about the remake that's so amazing is director Paul Feig, or Feig, I forget how you pronounce it.
I think it's Feig.
Feig, like, essentially had a Curb Your Enthusiasm style script, in which it wasn't.
It's all ad-libbing.
Yeah. So, like, here's the thing: to do ad-libbing, you really like have to be like really good, like really good. By the way, I'm just talking over this cutscene. It's really nothing. What was this guy's name again? Hawksmoor.
Bad McBad man.
Bad McBad guy with big scar. So, like, the weird thing about this one, because I haven't seen him again in a cutscene while I played, is like
stupidity.
She's like,
why don't you just leave him alone? He's nothing.
He's hardly there.
Like when she says that,
so get him out of there before it's too late.
I'm like, is she part of this? Like, I don't quite understand.
Look at that girl underestimating you.
I'll take over.
After all your exploits.
Okay?
Yeah, this is like my fourth. She should have underestimated me in the swamp realm, but not here. Anyway, so the thing is, like, you have to be like amazing to do that. Like it's just so easy to ad-lib and just have it be like so long and drawn out or not funny or whatever. And like on their own, most of the cast is like fine. Like they're funny. Like that Melissa McCarthy is in plenty of like very funny movies, and she's funny. But like she's not the kind of funny where it's like just ad-lib, just do it. You know what I mean? Like you need someone special, like a Bill Murray or something like that, to like really be like
Bill Murray when he wasn't a hack.
Yeah, Bill Murray when he tried. But anyway, you need someone special, and like he just thought everyone in that cast was just so effing funny. He thought they were just the funniest people to ever exist in the entire world.
Also, something else I noticed in New Ghostbusters is that a lot of comedy to me is timing, and their comedy was just say as many words.
It goes
as
on
fast
too
as
long.
possible.
That's their comedy. Is like, oh, is the scene over? Nope. Here, okay, we're still. It's like early Family Guy, but like when I guess there was like Family Guy had some good moments of it, but it's like, oh, the scene should have ended, huh? Oh, nope, you're still here. Yep. Okay, yep. And you're like, oh my god. Okay, so this I do Poltergeist. Boom! Poltergeist smash. So yeah, it really is a train wreck, and it's so good.
At least it like ultra flopped.
Okay, so I want to cancel that. I actually never realized you could cancel the abilities, so I was always just flying around like instantly losing my my abilities, and it was pretty cool. I forget if you have to do something else here. Yeah, but I was one of the people, and like we were in there, like it wasn't very, packed or whatever, but we were some of the people in there just like kind of laughing at like, how ridiculous it was, but like all the people that were like legitimately into it and like super laughing at it, I was like, what is going what?
And it's weird because I think Paul Feig directed some Office
He did
episodes.
like I think, don't quote me on this. Yeah, this one. Like Bridesmaids, I think, which is like considered awesome.
Yeah, I think he did.
So it's just one of those cases where it's like it's something no one wanted. Like no one was ever like, you know what we need? Like take away the female aspect of it. Like just no one was ever like, we need a remake of Ghostbusters.
I never cared about the all
Yeah,
female
and,
cast. Like if it's funny, I don't care. But it wasn't funny.
But like no one, like even with like young comics, which I don't know of any, but like I don't know. The guy from Lonely Island, that guy, Adam Sandberg. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. No one asked for it, and then like just do this thing where it's like, you know what? Just go with it. Oh my god. You're so funny. This is so funny. This is amazing. All right, wrap it up.
And I'm sure in any comedy, like they have a script, but I'm sure like if the actors are kind of like jiving, like they'll probably like leave a couple ad libs in here or there if they think it's like funny or if it's appropriate. But you can't make an entire script just be like, all right, here's the premise of the scene. You're talking about the Ghostbusters pack and how it works. Now just make up dialogue.
Yeah, no, it's literally that. Where it's like, you need to have a lot of chemistry. That's why, like, the Curb Your Enthusiasm, like, all those guys, like, know each other and have done it for so long that they're just, like, BSing with each other, you know what I mean? But, like, On a show, it's different because you're with each other like so long over the years. With a movie, it's just like, just have this chemistry, just do it.
Talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm, I wish I could watch that show more, because I do think it is, like, the funniest show ever made, but I also can't watch, like, cringe humor, and, like, when they're, like, really doing cringe humor, like, it is hard to watch for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough, but also amazing.
I really should just, like...
I think
I watched the first, like, 3 seasons, and, like, there's so many times I was like, this is the funniest, and then other times I was like, I cannot watch this.
I think it only gets cringier and cringier. At season 6 or 7 is when they get the Seinfeld cast back together to do a like a reunion, and it's just amazing. Jerry Seinfeld, like, I wish he would have done more, like, it's his, like, right to, like, not do much after Seinfeld and be like, I don't want to, you know? But, like, he's so good, just, you know, whatever. And then they, like... Yeah, I don't know, it's just... It's such a good show. Ooh. Alright, so I think we have a major... That's right. Major shootout.
More shooting.
This one actually isn't too long. Then we have some pretty unique parts, including very hard parts coming up. Mate, why did that last 2 seconds? I like when you're real close to them, it does that.
It's like a really awkward animation.
I like putting, like, I mean, I know you constantly get bullets for this gun, but, like,
It's literally a pea shooter. It does nothing.
Okay. There's something down here. Where am I getting constantly shot from? Ah. Hey, mate. Where are you? Oh, he went in there. So I'm doing good. Yeah, that's what you want. That'll lead me to the other guy, too. No! Okay. Yeah, I really want to save the shotgun for later, for reasons.
I mean, these guys do, like, basically no damage.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting, like, BTFO'd the whole time.
I mean, each bullet literally takes 1 damage. Like, you're not gonna die.
And I don't think there's an easy mode, or that I'm playing on it.
I remember early in the game, like, you were, like, kind of close on, like, dying a couple occasions, but I guess it's just gotten easier over time.
Well, there will be an occasion. Okay. So I think that's... Alright. So now that everyone's dead, this is one of those weird parts in this game where they, like... Oh, there's one guy. Okay. So, like, there's times in this game where it's not obvious what you're supposed to do. So if you, like, would just walk around here and, like, try to just, like, speedrun it, you'd be like, oh, I have to kill all the enemies. Because once all the enemies are dead, which I think they are now, you enter this room, and... Yep. And I love that, like, just super quick cut. It's like, oh!
Here's the jam we're in. Got to get through that blasted door. Stand back for the captain. Get back.
So this part,
shoot. Don't shoot.
you have no, nothing negative can happen to you. Like, you could stand there for 10 hours and you would be fine. Essentially, it's an escort mission where all you have to do is get the general's body to take dynamite
Smudger?
over.
Not like Smudger, see? Cooked it the other day. Any of these any good? We've lost the Ginger, Pongo, Chalky White, Sponge, Titch.
2 titches?
Yeah, we lost 2
Wait,
Titches.
why are you still shooting the fat soldiers now?
Because they, like, didn't know, and now he's like... Because they were just, like, about to shoot you, and he's like, no, don't do it.
All in.
Jacko, Jug Ears or Job? None of them do you?
Okay, gather around, you men. The only explosives we...
This is one of my favorite memes that's coming up, ready?
Need a volunteer. Well done, Joe. Good. I want you to guard on reconnaissance. Find my body.
I can't name other things that was done in, but I know I've seen it done in other stuff.
Agreed? Good.
The only guy who doesn't step back.
Keep me guarded. Okay, fall out.
Taff. He could be Taffy. Said his name was Jones, didn't he?
Taffy, is it?
Didn't he?
Like a glove. Ah, nice one, Nobby.
You will never be British. Feels bad, man.
I wish.
Feels bad, man.
Feels awful to be American.
So,
Bottom bottom tier.
I finally watched Worcester the other day. Just because.
Like a what?
Huh?
Like what Worcester thing were you watching?
Him streaming.
What was he streaming?
Pokemon Yellow.
I don't like seeing the other ones.
But I like how, like, okay, so, like, he had 700... Am I on the right? Yeah, mate.
Are you attempting to do?
So I just have to have his... Oh, there we go, there we go. Hey, mate! Just pay attention to me and not anyone else. You! Pay attention to me! So essentially, I just have to, like, distract these two things. So, I don't know if you can see,
Get
but...
further back, maybe?
Do you see? No, I'm doing it.
Oh.
Do you see him walking down there? He just has to walk around and get to the explosives. To put the explosives in.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I'm watching Worcester, and he has like 800 people watching him, which I know he's like, you know, Twitch famous and whatever. And, like, I watched for like 5 minutes, and it looks like in the corner he has a cam, but it's completely black. So I'm like, okay. And granted, like, ZFG doesn't have a cam, you know. And he has like 5,000 people watching him.
Worcester's another guy that really does not care about the cam, and I think he only has it up there, like, not to like mock his fan base, but it's definitely like he only plays games in the dark, so you can barely ever see his face, and I'm pretty sure he does that on purpose. And the crazy thing is that you say you had like 800 people watching him, you used to get like way more views, but...
So I sit there for 5 minutes, and it's just... Like, chat's not going crazy, but they're like... Boom! So chat's like not going crazy, but they're all chatting and whatever, and Worcester for this like entire... By the way, this is me. For the entire like 5 minutes I'm watching, doesn't say a single word. Like, it's just completely just game sound, and I was like... So does Worcester talk? And then like, the chat immediately was like, what do you want him to say? And I'm like...
You're not
Something?
If you can
Like, he doesn't have to be like, there's people who, like, me who would just talk the entire time, and I get it. But, like, he just, like, literally no words, no nothing. The first thing I heard him maybe 10 minutes in was him going, oh, you know, like when he made a mistake. And I was just like, okay. But the thing is, on Twitch, you gotta get, like, and, like, I don't, does he have, like, sub icons for when you sub? Like, I didn't, either he has no subs or he has no, like, special icons or whatever.
He definitely has subs.
But it was like weird, like all this stuff that like you normally see, like ZFG has no like sub things that come up, right? But he'll always be like, oh, thanks for the sub, thanks for the sub, thanks for gifting the sub. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I sort of understand where you're coming from, but I also sort of agree with the chat. When you run a game like Pokemon for as long as Worcester has, and he's been doing it for, what, like 6, 7, 8 years now, when you're just resetting over and over again to get that God run, it can get, like, annoying to, like, commentate on the game, and there might not be even, like, a point to, like, communicate with chat too much, because basically, like, just talking to the same people, like, hey, guy that showed up, or, like, some sort of conversation that's going on. So, I get it, but it's just a different mentality to streaming than other people. And I would say if you want like Worcester to say like a million things, you definitely just stream something.
No, not even a million, but he said like quite literally nothing. So I was like, okay, but like it amazed me that 800 people were watching.
And I think in the past, Worcester has stated that he streams that, like in Australia, like the American dollar is so much weaker than the Australian dollar that he doesn't make even close to like livable money off of Twitch. So he mostly does Twitch to like stream the game to prove that he's doing the run legitimately more than streaming it.
I also saw that his things aren't super long, like when he streams. It's not like,
I mean, I'm sure he makes a pretty good like penny off of Twitch, but like as far as I'm aware, this Australian dollar is anywhere from like $1.50 or like $2 to every Australian dollars. And like, or maybe it's the same, but Australian wages start at like 20 an hour, and therefore everything else is like more expensive to compensate.
Makes sense.
I forget if it's one or
something.
the other. It might actually be the both.
Oh, here we we go. I forget which one I'm doing here. Clearly it's something. I just did it last night. Also, loading. I just thought it was interesting. I was like, I've never seen a stream like that. Now, like, I've seen streams...
Also, you mentioned ZFG. Like, he, like, talks to the stream and he, like, says thank you to the subs, but ZFG also does not talk much sometimes.
That is true.
Like, I was watching his most recent randomizer run, and there will be, like, 1, 2, 3 minutes in a row that he doesn't say a word.
No, that is true.
And honestly, if I would have to choose between a streamer like Worcester or ZFG versus Caleb Hart, I would just watch ZFG.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. It's just interesting. Like, I've seen people stream and not talk much, but they have, like, 5 viewers, you know? Whereas Worcester has, like, a lot. Like, 800 any given time. And, like you said, it was more, and I was just like, oh, okay. But if he just does it for, like, fun or whatever, ain't nothing wrong with that. So I think that's all I do with her. I'm pretty sure. Then... Oh, yeah. Then I cross here. I find the third one. Then I fight the hardest boss in the game, which might actually be the only boss in the game. Because, like, every boss so far... Actually, every boss so far has been a huge meme, and this boss is a meme as well. There hasn't been a single boss that's just like, fight this boss, here's a health bar, you know what I mean? Like, everything's like... Remember that big alligator weird thing? Where it was like, oh, you have to get him to hit this thing. Oh, yeah. There we go. I'm glad I did this game. In some ways, I'm like, can this be over so I can play something else? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm glad I played it, because...
It's definitely an intriguing game, and it's definitely like a product of its time, because a game like GhostHunter would never be made. Ever.
Oh, I saved over my other one. Rip. Not a big deal, because we're gonna just get to where I was. Yeah, I mean, the game like this will never be made again.
Like modern games, like even during
maybe on Steam as an indie title.
Even Steam, I was about to say, the games made nowadays, like, it's either like indie and single A, like super low budget, or like huge AAA games. Like the AA game is pretty uncommon.